裁きの雷。
見て見て虹が。
真実はまるで影。丸裸にしてやろう。無我の境地。やっはっふんストップタッ。逃げ道はありません。ひゅっはっ。ひゅっひゅっ。裁きの雷。かかれ。終わりね。撤収。稲光すなわち永遠なり。ふんてったやっふっ見切りました。てったてっちふんてっそこてっ読む。
That is so, like, that's what's so fucking annoying about her. It's like you have to fucking hold your fucking charge attack, and you just fucking smacked out of it. He just kept, I was holding it the entire fucking time, and she didn't get her only attack. And it's just like, and I get it, right? Like, supposedly she has her stagger resistance only when she's in the middle of it, so it doesn't help her when she's trying to start it. But it's just like, dude, when your only method of actually doing your attack is to hold your attack button. So basically, it's a half-second delay anyway. There's a half-second delay between when you can actually, you know? So you're like, okay, well, what's going to happen first? Am I going to start my attack and get my stagger resistance? Or is he going to do his attack in less than half a second? Because, like, you have to hold it down for half a second, basically, before it's considered a fucking charge attack, right? And so that's the fucking problem with this, with her, is that it's just like, you just get fucked so many times in between your attacks. It's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna hold my attack, and you'd love for you to just do one to the other and keep your stagger resistance the entire time. But no, after doing one, you have a window where you can get smacked out of it, which just fucks up your momentum completely. It's just like, it's not fun. I think it depends on the enemy. Obviously, she has enemies that have big, sweeping attacks. You know, they're like, oh, very big telegraphed attacks. Those power users, those are the ones you can easily do, because it's like, okay, cool. You see the attack coming. You can either get your attack off first because you're faster, or you see it coming, dodge out of the way, then start her charge attack, right? That's fine. But for in this area, against these enemies, she's really not good. Like, she's strong, she has the power when she can get it off, but the problem is that she can get, if you get staggered out of your attack, you just get staggered out of your attack. You have to be basically sitting still for a half second to get off her attack, and anything being touched at all will stagger her out of it. So it basically any attack will stagger her out of the charge, which means you have to do the charge again. I don't even know if you hold the attack button and get hit, do you have to hold it again? Or we'll still consider, oh, well, you're still holding it, so we'll just restart the timer. I think it's just restarting the timer, which is fine. But it's still, it's just frustrating. because it just fucks you up because you're like expecting your attack to go off, and so you're getting ready for that. You're getting ready to continue that, but then what happens? It's like, oh, you just don't do it, and now you're kind of Anyway, it's not fun. Oh wait, what the fuck? Yeah, I actually just came here to check out the to make something. So I was surprised that there was actually a little bit of dialogue. I'm curious, did that dialogue happen because Aino was in my team, or was that just set to happen anyway? Okay, so spear, the charge. A lot of spears. I mean, is Aino's one better? Mastery. So obviously that'll be a 120, hiding another 120. So this would be kind of good for Aino, but the whole thing is Aino has this extra bonus. Oh, maybe I should get this one because this might be good for Yehoda. Yeah, so here we go, 120. So yeah, 120 is great. That's a decent chunk, and then 120 afterwards. Now, it's not 100% sure because obviously this would be assuming that Yehoda can do can triggered off field. But even still though, it's not super. It's not as big of a buff. I think the other ones had a kind of a bigger buff because it's like for the team, right? I think. Where's the? No, I guess this is all personal damage. Yeah, this one would probably be pretty good for Aino because she does trigger shit off field. Because reverse is a big off field thingy. But anyway, I sent my resin, so let's just go in and do this shit. So I can either do these things, which who knows how long they'll take, or I'm going to focus on the quest for now. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah, that's perfect. So we're gonna go see Tignari then?
ティナリの宿、ティナリの
Yeah, I mean, this is what I really like about Genshin is that like Tignari has a home. We visit him in his home. Like we have Tignari, Sino, Sethos reappears, Layla reappears. Like they're really good at making the world feel lived in, right? You know, it's like, hey, we're in Sumeru. Hey, I mean, you could argue that this is a little heavy-handed, where it's like, geez, we're meeting literally every single Sumeru character. But like, no, these make sense because like Kole is Tignari's student, and Tignari, is pretty popular. And Sino and Sethos kind of go together because they kind of know each other. Layla appearing there is kind of interesting too. Technically, she's kind of a free-floating one.
元気がないみたいだけど、何かあった
Like she's kind of a free-floating one. She's kind of more associated with the academy, but she doesn't really have a set location.
こんにちは。
But yeah, I mean, it's so cool because it's like when you go to these locations, you meet the characters. They have interplay between the characters. They feel like they live here. They feel like this is their home. And yeah, like for Wuthering Waves, they just ignore them. Like you never go back to old areas. It's always just like, oh, hey, if we ever do an event back in an old area, it's like, here's one character from the area who appears. Literally no one else. You never see them ever again. Like, yeah. Again, not great. I mean, it just, yeah, I think Genshin makes a much more immersive, realistic world, and Wuthering Waves just feels a little more dead. You know? It just feels less enjoyable, less lived in, which is fine, I guess. You know, you can only dedicate so much time and effort into doing all sorts of things. You can clearly tell combat is their goal and their focus. And, no one ever complains about that, right? So the thing they're focusing on, they're doing very well. I'm just not about that. Gameplay is fine. Like, as long as it's not bad or boring, then it doesn't really, then it's all the same to me, kind of. It's like, yeah, as long as it feels fun, that's it. But, putting all this extra time into combat doesn't make it that much more interesting or fun, right? The same basic mechanics are the same, and I'm not the type of person who gives a shit about a challenge. So it's like adding all these extra challengey things don't really matter. I'd rather you spend that time making a good, immersive world and story.
悪いけど、今ちょっと忙しくて、そんなに険しい顔をしない。見たところ、レイラの状態はだいぶ良くなっ、錯乱状態に陥るようなリスクは、ちょっと待ってて。精神を落ち着け。
ああ。簡単に言えば、セトスと沈黙の伝のメンバーが砂漠で意識朦朧としていたレイラを救出したんだ。
救出ってそこまで
セノの説明は簡潔すぎて余計な
仕方がないだろう。当事者がまだ事情を話せる好
き。
彼女は自分の身に起きたことを忘れたのか。
沈黙の伝でいろいろと試してみたんだけど。
Huh, that's interesting. Yeah, obviously, Nodcry is a very moon-based. The moons have a huge amount of importance in the Nodcry part. I'm curious how many moons are there. Is she actually referring to the destroyed moons, the red moon, the actual moons of this world, Or is this just some sort of like stargazing metaphor of some sort?
彼女の症状はサティア・ワダライフに陥った学者に似てたから、
一縷の望みというやつだ。
前向きに考えよう。たとえ記憶が戻らなくても頭痛くらいは和らげられるさ。ああ、ごめん。一緒にもう一人の被害者のところに行こうか。
いい考えだ。
はいはい。
妙な話だ。
Yeah, was that cool? Oh wait, it's down. What? Oh, is this Signardi's home? Down here?
夏目氏は一体誰を怒らせたのだろう。さっぱりわからない。
ジェル、まだ夏目足のことを考えてるのか？セノを呼んで。
あ、すみません。失礼ですが。
そうだよ。
やっぱり砂漠に帰ってもいいですか？
それで
夏目足のことは置いといて、まずは彼を紹介しよう。ジェル、旅人の
はい、もちろん知っています。
今その英雄が調査に加わろうとしてるところなんだ。まあそれに君も話を聞いたら真相が気になってくる。
実は少し前砂漠へ調査に向かったのですが、今思い返してみると、あれは普通の。その時私は混乱してジタバタしたため、触れてはいけないものに触れてしまったようです。ほんの一瞬の出来事でした。膨大なあれを知識と呼ぶべきかは。したから。
Interesting. So I would assume he fell into one of King Deshretat's ruins. One of the ruins of King Deshretat. Because like that was the interesting thing about Deshretat, is that he was supposedly corrupted by knowledge, and that knowledge even corrupted the Irminsul. So we would assume it's the Abyss, right? The other interesting thing, though, is that supposedly King Deshretat also happened like 500 years ago when Conria was happening. So was Deshretat fucked over because the Conrians give him forbidden Abyss knowledge, and it corrupted him and his people? Because they've never really directly associated it with them. Now, to be fair, there are huge ruin graders all around Sumerian Desert, so it would kind of allude that maybe they were working with the Conrians, and the Conrians gave them the ruin graders to help them maybe do their shit. Hard to say, because like they've never really directly tied it to them. You know, there's the forbidden knowledge tool. Yeah, sure, that's probably the best. And it was around the time of the Conrians, so presumably it's the Conrians who gave them gave King Deshretat his knowledge, or gave him the corrupting knowledge at the very least. Might have been Rhine-Daughter. She does seem the kind of dick to do that. Could have been Horoptatyr too, because the ruin graders are there, and Rhine-Daughter's more about creating life, and Horoptatyr was more about just academic sciences. He was the leader of the academy, so it would make more sense if he was the one who helped design the ruin graders, perhaps. In which case, the fact that there are ruin graders in Sumeru would make it seem like maybe Corruptor was the one who corrupted him.
すみません。また。
大丈夫だよ。どうせもうすぐ夏目足の。
はあ、そうですね。とにかくもう気が狂いそうだと感じたとき、頭の中に渦巻いていた雑多な思考が夏目足を食べるなと。
は？
信じられないかもしれませんが、本当です。私はわかりません。男の声だったと思いますが、何にせよ問題があるとすれば、その後
ずっとその言葉を繰り返してたのか？
ええ、あなたもそう思いますよね。一体彼は夏目足に何の恨みがあるのでしょ
う。世の中甘いものが嫌いな人間がいたっていいだろ
う。そうですね。あと今思うと、
猫？
はい。私
Oh,
も
interesting, a cat. So could this be the cat? Could this be Nefer's cat? Because I mean, Nefer's cat is not really a cat. It's really the embodiment of one of the Deshertet lords. Forget that they mentioned, is it Ibis? Lord Ibis?
でも実際
Ibis is a bird, isn't it?
かき混ぜられたような状態の中で、
I mean, I guess it could have been, but yeah. So it could have been, yeah, maybe this was, because I mean, that's how Nefer saw it too. Like that's how Nefer found the cat in the first place, that she went to the ruin by her hometown, and she found the cat in there. Well, I mean, found the Deshertet lord, one of Deshertet's nobles in there, which took the form of a cat.
全然怖いと思ってない。
ごめんごめん。心配し。でももし言われたの、
それは夏目足を甘く見ないでください。
わかったわかった。認め。そうだと思う。あの時はジェルの治療を急いでたから、後で調査をしに戻ってきやすいよう、現場に簡単な目印だけつけておいたんだ。そしてジェルの状態が安定して、僕たちが再びその通り。同じ場所に同じような症状の被害者が現れたということは、レイラさんを連れて帰った後、沈黙の伝は現場に。でも2度あることは3度あるって言うから。
Of course, that does beg the question too of how the fuck did he get out, right? You know? So like he said he fell into the quicksand, fell into the ruin, got thing, and now here he is outside of the ruin. Now it could be that the going into the ruin thing, that is in and of itself was a hallucination. So it could be that once he got to that location, just being at that location alone, like maybe underneath the sand, it is the thing that that flooded his mind with all the shit. So it could be he stood on something in the desert that made him hallucinate, thought he was going into the quicksand, etc., etc.
だろう？でも実はあの二人を連れて行きたい理由はもう一つあるんだ。ジェル、話忘れ。
何でしたっけ？途中うっすら覚えているのです。夏目足をもしかして私のことを言って私の先祖に関する記録はあまり残っていないので。
やっぱり覚えてたね。ティナリはトゥライトゥーラの末裔。セノと僕に関係のあるヘルマヌビスはトゥライトゥーラ創設。僕は沈黙の伝の首領として。
Oh, I see. Hermanubis is probably one of the other Deshertet nobles. So the cat is presumably Nefer's cat. I could have sworn they said Ibis, but I'm pretty sure Ibis is a bird, so why would it be a cat? And this maybe was a bird person back in the day, and it just took the form of a cat now because it's convenient. Not quite sure, but yeah, whatever. So this presumably is Nefer's cat. Although it's kind of weird. What's Nefer's cat doing bouncing around now when it's with Nefer? Unless maybe there are multiple nobles from Deshertet took the form of a cat. which is kind of weird. I mean, obviously this is a very heavily Egyptian-themed zone, right? The Deshret area is all desert and sand. It has the pyramids, all that shit. Very Egypt coded, and they worship cats, so it's not crazy for that. But like the Hermanubis, like the whole, Hermanubis is obviously Anubis, an Egyptian god. And there was an Egyptian god with an ibis for a head. I forget what its name was, though. And then there's like Ra, it was a falcon, I think, falcon-headed.
そしてこれはみんなに関わることだ。君ならそう言ってくれると思ってたよ。とにかくジェルの話は大体こんな感じだ。そろそろティナリも手が空いた頃だろうし、レイラさんの様子を見に行こうか。
沈黙の殿の
気分はどう？話した。
だいぶ良くなりました。今はちょうど2日間寝てない。いや2日寝てないのがそんなこと言うなよ。私が言いたい。
Actually, yeah, so her scale creates a little shield bubble, which obviously resembles a spherical moon, right? But also, when she does her burst, she like lays on a moon-like orb, and then there's the whole chandelier of ice and stuff. So is that moon the frost moon? Because like she's a cryo unit, and she does create moon-like things. Oh, look at that! And look, you can see the incense on the table, right? So like it's that kind of consistency that is good, right? Tignari said, "Oh, I'm going to go leave. I'm going to bring in some calming incense," and we could have just come back, and they could have just not had it on the table. It could have just been like, "Oh no, we already used the calming incense. She's fine now." But like, no, you can see it on the table, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't there before. So it's this kind of like attention to detail that makes this just such a better immersive world than Wuthering Waves. That's why I find it surprising where it's like everyone's just glazing the shit out of Wuthering Waves. I'm like, really? Like, it's not really that good. Like honestly, I think Genshin is a better game overall, right? Yeah, sure, Wuthering Waves combat is more challenging and difficult and skill-based, but like that's all it has going for it. Everything else is worse than Genshin, you know? The world setting is worse. The story is worse, and you could argue, well, like, the story is relatively childish in Genshin. Like, it's not really made for adults. It's made for more like teens. So it's like it's a shonen manga type thing. It's like you're not expecting the most complex, interesting, or the most complicated adult topics in a shonen manga, right? Yeah, makes sense. But like the story is interesting. Like the whole thing against Rosher was really interesting. You know, having to beat Rosher, the Nod Cry story, all that shit. It's like, it's so interesting. And like, Wuthering Waves just can't match that. Like, they can come up with some really epic moments, but it's just like tied together with string. And it's just like, yeah, it's just not consistent. The world itself is not consistent. You have like Renacida, where we start with this like kind of, you know, this port city that resembles France. And so it's like, oh, okay, it's kind of a French country. And then you get over to like the next island, and it's like, oh yeah, this is like very much like Rome with gladiators and shit. It's like, well, how? This is one country. How the fuck are you this disparate in one country, right? You know, like all of Jinzo, even like all the little random bits were all like, yeah, it's more. I don't know. So it's just like, yeah, just not a really good immersive world, right? The music isn't as good. And that was the other thing too. Like, I heard that Wuthering Waves won an award for its song. Now I don't remember the song by itself, so you know, I think because I stopped playing the game by that point. So maybe they did do a good song. I'm not sure, but I'm just like, really, like, and I didn't even see Honkai Star Rail get nominated. And like, god damn, like Honkai Star Rail does some really good fucking songs. Genshin, not really. Like Genshin does really good ambience music. And they do some good like epic songs, but for the most part, like it's not really super. It doesn't really stand out because it's designed to be kind of like background music when you're fighting a boss. So the sound design for Genshin is very good, but they don't really have anything that like stands out as like, oh yeah, I'm gonna listen to this song on repeat because it's just so fucking good, right? Whereas like Honkai Star Rail had some bangers like that, especially for like bosses and the multi-phase bosses where they have a multi-layered song where they really reveal one layer of song with each phase the boss goes by before they finally get into the whole actual last phase where the actual lyrics pop in and you're like, wow, that's really fucking cool, and it just creates a really interesting build. So yeah. So I was surprised that they won an award, but it could be for a song that just released after I stopped playing the game. But yeah, it is kind of weird. That, I mean, yeah. I mean, I do get it. Like gacha games, gacha communities are incredibly tribalistic, simply because they just cannot objectively view their own product. They can't objectively view their own game because they're just like, no, they're so caught up in all the time and money they've put into it that they're just like, no, I can't say a negative thing about my game because I spent all this time and money into it. If I say it's bad, then I'm insulting myself for wasting my time, right? And it's just like, no, like I do kind of regret playing it, right? Because I did waste a lot of time on it. You know, I 100%ed every single exploration zone in Jinzo. I 100% every single exploration zone in Renacida up until Cartithia's one. Actually, no, I think I did 100% the Cartithia's upside down zone, but that was the last one I did. I was like, after that, I'm just like, you know what? 100%ing the regions isn't fun. It feels too tedious. It feels tedious. It feels not fun to do. Like Genshin, I never have a problem with that. Like Genshin, I like exploring the new areas. I'm not gonna do it right away, but like I never had an instance where I'm like farming shit in Genshin. Like the only criticism I have with doing exploration content in Genshin is when they have other quests that trigger when I get close to them. And so when I'm trying to do exploration content, which then takes me too close to a proximity triggered quest, it undoes. So like, oh, I'm doing a race. It's like, okay, go along this path. You have to do this race. And then along the path is a proximity quest, which instantly starts the second I get close to it. I didn't know there was a quest there because I'm not focusing on it because I'm just exploring. And so now the race I was in fails because I got sucked into this quest. That's my only complaint. And that's bad design, but like, it's not a problem with the exploration content. So it's like, I have fun doing that. And Wuthering Waves is just too tedious. It's too big, it's too open. The content we have to do is kind of like boring and sparse, and it's just not fun to explore. And that's why I stopped. Well, that's one of the reasons why I stopped. Because I'm just like, you know what, I'm spending way too much time to do this, and it's not fun to do, and it's not super rewarding, and the story is just so disjointed. It constantly contradicts itself, so it's just like, what's the point of even getting invested into the story if they just constantly, make mistakes, right? If they constantly forget, oh, whoops, we said this before, or we're going to give you an explanation that makes like literally no sense, right? Oh, hey, we're going to have you reassemble the stained glass window, which tells you the history of how the Order came into being and the history of the first Black Wave. And you're like, oh, okay, stained glass window in a stone cathedral, like. This must have happened ages ago in a ruined stone cathedral like that. This must have happened hundreds of years ago then, right? It's like, that's the only way that would make any sense because it takes time to create these stained glass, and usually you create it when you're building a church. It's like they built the stone cathedral, placed the stained glass into it, people worshipped in it for a while, and then just over time it got destroyed, And it could have been like also like, oh, well, there is a dragon, so maybe the dragon came over and destroyed it. But like, this was, but it was still a ruined cathedral. So you're like, okay, well, yeah, it takes time to build a stone cathedral. It takes time to commission and build the stained glass for that shit. And then it takes time for it to eventually get destroyed and for people to not even bother trying to go there anymore. So obviously this had to have happened ages ago. And then we're told later, in that same Renacita 2.0 patch, that no, that happened 20 years ago. Yeah, the Black Wave, 20 years ago, that's when it happened. That's when the Order was created. It's like, wait. So 20 years ago, they resolved the Black Wave, and their first order of business was to create a stone cathedral and fill it with stained glass, which then got destroyed, and then they left it destroyed because they were trying to hide their past. So they're trying to hide the past for an organization that was created 20 years ago, where everyone was alive when it happened. You're trying to gaslight people who lived through your history. Like, it makes no sense. Like, this should have happened hundreds of years ago, and the Order got corrupted and was like, okay, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna try to change our history to try to like push a narrative, which would explain why everyone's so reliant on the Order, because they're their religious belief and they're helping out people and all that shit. So it just doesn't make sense, right? It just doesn't make any sort of logical sense. They're just like, oh, well, we need you to learn the secret. And it's just like, well, no, it would have taken years. Especially because they're like, oh, yeah, 20 years ago was the Black Wave, which makes no sense. 10 years ago, there was like another recurrence of the Black Wave, which is weird because they only ever refer to it as a one singular event. But then they're saying, oh, well, 20 years ago it also happened. Because like Cartithia didn't exist 20 years ago. She supposedly sacrificed herself 10 years ago, which doesn't make... So, like, and we're told how douchey the Order was even at that point, right? Like, Cartithia was going against them, trying to say, hey, we should be all nice and enjoy ourselves. And the Order, even 10 years ago, was saying, no, we want to clamp down on all this shit. You know, stop this. You have to follow our orders. And it's like, what? So what, in 10 years, they became the most powerful organization that they could just unilaterally say this bullshit? And then they got even worse once Cartithia sacrificed herself. It's like, the timeline just makes no sense. It happens way too quickly. There's no way in hell that would actually realistically work that way in real life, right? You can't be like, you can't have some guy just show up and be like, yeah. It'd be like some guy showing up saying, I'm the new Pope, right? Like, oh no, there was this like big alien invasion, killed the Pope. Random guy shows up and says, yeah, I'm the new Pope, and then starts giving bullshit, like not voted the normal way, just like, oh, I'm the new Pope now. I helped defeat the aliens that killed the Pope. I'm the new Pope, and I'm going to now give orders out to say things that just make no sense based on the previous like church's opinion. It's like, yeah, like I'm just going to start saying a bunch of things that diverge from the normal Catholic law, and you're just going to go along with it. And everyone will kowtow to it in 20 years. And it's like, what? No. It's like, and trying to revise their own history. Where it's like, yeah, the Catholic Church didn't like do this ever. Like, no, this is not the. It's like, dude, this was 20 years ago. We fucking remember this shit, right? Yeah, basically. Sorry. It's just, yeah, every time I see shit like this, I'm just reminded how much better Genshin is than Wuthering Waves. Genshin has a more immersive world. Genshin brings back old characters. See, the instance, you know, they are consistent. They understand what the fuck the story is and don't contradict themselves within the same fucking patch. It's just like, Genshin has good writers. And Wuthering Waves has okay writers. They're not bad. But all they can do is come up with these epic moments. It's somewhat reminiscent to Elden Ring, to a degree, is that a lot of shit in Elden Ring just doesn't make any sense at all, right? Because Elden Ring kind of goes, and FromSoft in general, goes on the rule of cool, right? It's like, yes, we're just going to do this. Why? Well, because it's cool. It's really epic. It's really cool looking. We're just going to do it. Does it make any sense? No, fuck no. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Even if you look at their lore, there's nothing in their lore that explains the bullshit that they do. They just do it for shits and giggles. Like, yeah, we're just going to do it. Because it's cool. And it's like, fine, sure. Do they make cool things? Yeah. Which is fine, you know. But then just don't go around saying the Elden Ring story is good, you know. It's fine to do all these cool things. It's weird when you get people saying like, oh no, the lore is so good. The lore is so deep and interesting. It's like, no. The lore doesn't say shit, you know. There's a guy who makes lore for Elden Ring, ended up writing a 500-page book. Or no, 400-page book, right? And I would bet that most of it is just supposition, where it's like, okay, I've taken all these things and I've created a story that ties them together. You're the one creating the story, right? You're saying, hey, I have all these pieces. They are not connected in any way, so I'm going to connect them into a story. And then people see that, like they see the YouTube video that he's made. It says, oh yeah, that makes total sense. That's really good. Oh, the lore is so deep. It's like, no, it's not. The guy is so deep. He's taking a bunch of disjointed things and creating his own story. And because you like the game, and you're like, oh, well, it's based on these bits of lore that they found within the game, therefore this is the lore of the game. It's like, no. That's a fan fiction of the game based on that's a fanfic, right? He's using bits and pieces from the game to create a fantasy story that has no actual relation with the game, and you're attributing that to the game's lore, which is like, no. Unless it's like explicitly said in the lore, in the game, unless it's explicitly said in something that you can find within the game, it's not canon. It's just a fanfic. So, and I think Wuthering Waves does that too, where they have some really cool epic scenes, and they're like, yeah, let's just do this because it looks cool, but they just can't. They don't have the writing ability to actually make the scene make sense. They don't have the writing ability to actually have the correct sequence of events to make that epic scene make sense at all. They're just like, no, well, we're just going to tie these things together. It's like, yeah, but like they aren't really well relate. They don't relate to each other very well. They don't really fit into the world very well. You're just like, you're creating this epic scene, which the epic scene alone doesn't really have to make sense to a degree, because it's like, well, it's just this one-off scene. It doesn't necessarily have to tie into the world that well, because it's just a big epic scene, right? And you rely on the build-up to actually make the scene fit into the world correctly. You do the correct exposition, you do the correct foreshadowing, and all that shit, and then you have the epic scene, which now fits in perfectly because you
need the replacement for Henry Cavill, and I hope you got it.
And then you have a good scene because you've spent the time basically like it's like carving a fitting for a gem, right? So the gem is the Wuthering Waves epic scene, right? And you're relying on like the rest of the story to kind of carve a perfect fitting for that gem, and so it fits in perfectly into the world that is the piece of jewelry, right? But what they end up doing is like it's very much like the whole square peg in a round hole, right? They're just like, well, we're just gonna carve a fitting, and then just like hammer down the gem into it to force the fit, right? And that's basically what they do. It's a bunch of ill-fitting jewelry that have been just hammered into place so that they just are wedged into the hole that doesn't fit the gem perfectly. And that's basically what they've done for their entire story. And the problem with that is that people are stupid. And so they see the pretty gems and are like, oh, look at all these pretty gems. It's like, yeah, sure, there's a lot of pretty gems, And each of those gems is those epic scenes. It's like, and so they're just like, well, this piece of jewelry has a nice big diamond in it. It's clearly a very good piece of jewelry, right? But then you're completely ignoring the fact that the fitting and the fitting that it's in is all mangled as it's been jammed in there, and there's a bunch of odd-shaped gems all around it. So it's like, hey, you have this really nice diamond, but it's surrounded by gems that don't fit a color scheme, don't fit in the fittings as well, or at irregular intervals, And people just focus on the big epic scene. It was very obvious in like even 1.0 of Wuthering Waves. So the final scene against the Threnodian was really cool. Definitely really cool. Fighting against the big Threnodian, rushing towards it, going in, fighting against that other one, and Nadia appearing and absorbing it. That was really cool, right? Nice and cool. Like, did that make sense? No, not really. But people, and like the rest of 1.0 story was shit. They constantly introduce things that make no sense. If you go look for a lore video of the 1.0 story, and you'll get tons of people saying, yeah, here's a huge list of things that just don't make sense in the world, that are just not explained properly, explained incorrectly, all sorts of shit. But because that final because Act 6 and 7 was interesting, and even still, Act 6 was kind of shit, right? Whereas the whole, oh, it's like, it's the history, oh, the memories are coming back, and we're going to see the history of the people who fought there before. That was kind of dumb. Really, it's Act 7 was the only good act. But it's Act 7. 7 of... So the previous 6 acts were shit. And you're like, well, because there's one good scene in Act 7, the story is good. It's like, no. One good scene doesn't make the rest of the shit story any better. So, yeah. That's kind of the problem. Is that too many people are just, like, focused on the pretty gems and don't realize that the overall piece of jewelry is shit.
次の瞬間には月はいくつあるのだろう。
Anyway, yes, another rant. I shouldn't be ranting as much. I'm basically doing the same problems. I'm doing the same thing that I don't like other streamers doing, where they just constantly bring up criticisms of the same game over and over and over again. I know. Basically, that's why I stopped watching some streamers, because they just kept ranting on about the same game over and over again, and seemingly, like, completely out of place. Now, I would argue it's not out of place, because Genshin is obviously the predecessor to Wuthering Waves. Wuthering Waves copies a lot from Genshin. But it's not like Genshin, it's not like the elements of Genshin are completely unique. They get a lot of elements of Genshin were also in other games too. And yes, I know people might say, oh, Breath of the Wild. Honestly, no. Like, Genshin isn't Breath of the Wild wasn't the first cel-shaded game. You're just like, oh, well, it's a cel-shaded game that has a stamina system. Clearly, it's Breath of the Wild. First of all, Breath of the Wild wasn't the only one that had a stamina system. There were other games that had that stamina system. In fact, most open-world exploration games have a set stamina system, right? So it's like, but you're just like, oh, well, Breath of the Wild came out. It's an open-world, cel-shaded game that has a stamina system and a glide. Okay, well, despite a bunch of other games that also had the exact same elements, Genshin clearly copied off Breath of the Wild. Like, what? No. Combat is different. Story is different. Lots of shit, tons of stuff was different. So, anyway, besides the point. Either way, lots of games have lots of elements. So you can't say, oh, well, they were directly copied, but it's like, Anyway. So they're basically in the same genre. So it does remind me that when I see a good game, it just reminds me of the bad game. But yes, I should stop complaining. Like, I stopped playing the game. I stopped playing the game for a reason. I should just let it go. It popping up in just the best mobile game. I'm just like, really? I don't know how the things get nominated, right? Like so Wuthering Waves got nominated, but I'm like, why? Genshin is a better game. I actually like Honkai Star Rail even more than Genshin, because the story in that is really good. And it's also crazy because if you look at the amount of money the games make, like Genshin and Honkai Star Rail make about like 40 million a month on average, right? When looking at the sales figures, it's about 40 million a month. Wuthering Waves makes like 10. So Wuthering Waves, at least monetarily, is a quarter as popular, right? Now, I don't know, like obviously, the amount of money spent doesn't necessarily correlate to the amount of people playing it. Obviously, that makes total sense. But in the absence of any actual numbers, because like, we're not going to get a player count number. We're not going to get a player count. Not all of them are on Steam, so we can't use Steam numbers to confirm anything. They all have their own individual launchers, which also dilutes Steam numbers, and they're all on console, which also would dilute Steam numbers. So even if all games were on Steam, it wouldn't necessarily be, because like you don't really need to play. Like Honkai Star Rail doesn't really need good performance, and I would say of the three games, Wuthering Waves, Honkai, and Genshin, Wuthering Waves needs better PC performance than any other of the other games. because of the skill ceiling, because of the skill requirements for the combat. Having a PC that can perform better, higher FPS, higher resolution, all that shit on a bigger, wider monitor, yeah. So you might get a higher percentage of people to play the Steam client than the other games, which might make you think, oh, it's more popular. It's like, well, no, because like 10% of the people playing this game or playing on Steam, whereas for the other games, it might be like 2 or 3%. So you're comparing, so you'd have to, multiply this one by multiply this numbers by 90, and the other ones by like 97, right? To get a better accurate. So, and you could never really tell what the actual ratio is, so, but yeah, so anyway. I gotta stop doing this. I've wasted so much time. Jesus Christ, almost an hour already. I haven't even done one quest.
そのジェルという友人でも
But yeah, so it's my fault.
何かに触れたことも誰
But
か
yeah,
の声を聞い
so
君も覚えがある
I'm going to, I think we're gonna try to stop ranting about it.
遺跡を脱出した後
Because, like, it's the same thing every single time. But you come up with this, it's just like this new immersive world. You're like, oh my god, you're bringing back in characters. It's not like you're just completely abandoning them after you introduce them. You know?
確かに
You're actually going back to the old locations. The people who should live in that location pop up when you're doing these quests. Like, the world feels like it exists. And it feels realistic.
もしかしたら私の記憶が抜け落ちてるのは
It doesn't feel like a game where you're just placing them in the world when you need them and they're moving them when you don't.
じゃないかと思って
Now, to be fair, you don't see them all the time. It's not like they're just chilling in the city all the time. Although with the anecdotes, it actually does. Now with the anecdotes, it's a nice little way of saying, hey, look,
何かをしたり
we're just gonna have a random character appear in random locations, so you can kind of like learn what they're doing kind of in the meantime, even if you don't involve them in a quest like this.
どうしてそうなるのか
うん、わかった。教えてくれてあまり深く考えなくていいと思うよ。もう現地調査に行くことは決まってるわけだし、その時に自分の目で確かめればいい。
調査に行くときはい
いけど一つだけ条件がある。もしその時まだ体調が安定し
わかった。
それより砂漠に行くわけだが、お前は耐えられるのか？
砂漠に入ったら僕がどう言えばいいかな。ご先祖様に関わるしっかり準備して昼間の移動を避ければまあ大丈夫だと思うよ。それに何かあった時のために応急処置をで
そうだな。お前が治療される側じゃなければの話だが、
万が一そんな不幸が起きたらみんなで僕を担いで帰ってくれると助かるな。
僕は何でもいいよ。それじゃ前に話した通りまた2日後に会おう。じゃあ僕とジェルは先に沈黙の殿に戻るよ。この時間を使って資料も
よろしく頼む。
レイラはまだ休む必要があるなら部屋を用意するけど。
いえ大丈夫です。今はもう元気なので。本当か？無理するなよ。途中で大丈夫。心配しな。それにまだやらなきゃいけないことがあって、指導教員や同級生たち、それをちゃんと済ませてからじゃないと。
それはああ、それなら安心だ。もし不調が現れたらすぐ。
ティナリの言うことはちゃんと聞いた方がいい。さもないと。
罰とは心外だね。君があの時の君の体調じゃ。
なるほど。味付けの問題かと思っていたが、
ようやく本題が終わったから思いっきりジョークが言えるってわけだね。
ああ、
大丈夫だパイモン。どうして
そんな
問題ない。スメールではいつでもどこでもスメールからな。
調査の間、旅人、今回オイラは欠席でもいいか？ きだ。もう行こうぜ。
ああ、お大事に。君たちも。
旅人もジョークの腕を上げたな。
嬉しいの？
ああ。
そういえば。
何？
夏目やし、夏目やし、夏目やし、好き。まずいぞ。オイラも謎の精神ウイルスどうしよう。そうだ。あっちにカフェがあるぞ。頭をすっきりさせるために一杯飲みに行かないか？私もしかしてオイラがずっとブツブツ言ってたから眠くなっちゃったのか？ごめん、みんなその言い方だったら今日はオイラの本気。お前は不調なレイラについてあげててくれ。待ってろよ。一目で突然現れて悪いわね。でも他に確かにならこの子、つまりそうよ。この子は新しい課題に悩んでいて、もっと危ないと気づいた時にはもう手遅れだった。まさか絶好の観察。
Oh, interesting. So they actually did fall down then. I was thinking that maybe they didn't fall down at all, and they just hallucinated on top of it, but it seems like they did fall down, both of them. She did, and probably the other guy did. So they fell down, interacted with something, and then I guess were kicked out?
それにしても竜砂が見た目は砂漠でよく見かける遺跡だけど、
So yeah, as you can see, her burst is looks like a moon. All of it looks very like a moon. She's cryo, so yeah, you would think frost moon, which is literally the name.
この扉はそこの装置で開けられるみたい。やっぱりなんなの急に。
Oh, interesting.
もしかして起きるの？いや違う。どういうこと？たくさんの理解。
Oh, interesting. Some of it is the map that's underneath. Some of it is the map of the ruins underneath the first desert area. Oh, I can't jump anymore. Damn it.
どこ？私回ってる。
Those are the same symbols too. We have these little like stone tablets. Can I even see them? No, I can't. We have these stone tablets that have the same symbols as that. Which, I mean, obviously makes sense. It's all the language of the... I don't know, is it Deshutetians? Well, I'm not sure what their civilization was called. We know that. I can't remember what the actual...
月はいくつよかった。月はいくつ頭はまだ痛いけど暗く月はいくつある。なぜか頭の中をこの月はいくつあるのだ。それは
Oh, look, so it's not as green as the other one. Nefer's one is green, so this
さっきも
interesting. So presumably this is another lord. I find it weird that they're both cats, but then again, I guess they've animated a lot of cats. So especially with that previous event, so I guess it's easier for them to use another cat. But it is unusual that like Hermanubis, we never really saw, but he was like obviously had dog shaped, and we saw various like they look very Egyptian godlike. So it's like so they had the bird face stuff like that. So it's weird that they would use another cat instead of like a bird or something.
本当に猫がいる。気のせいじゃない。
But again, I guess it could just be that they just worship cats like the Egyptians, and so maybe all of them have a cat form.
いくつ鳴き声を終えってついていくしかなさそうね。
Oh, that was the exit? How did you get above the sand, though?
私はもう一人の私がゆっくりと目覚めるのを待ってからその場を去ったみたい。思い返してみると状況が変わったのは先輩たちから聞いた話だとちょっとしたトラブルで済むものもあれば大きなトラブル。そういえば君もでもたとえ傘を差していたって完全にお礼なら大丈夫よ。私が言いたかった。ほらこう
Okay, so I assume that this is going to be the end of the quest, and then the third and final quest will be... the third and final quest will be actually doing the exploration.
そんなにいい飲み物は仕事中に飲むべきだ。
ダメだろ。仕事中に眠りなんて。
Wow, I was saying that like they were bringing back every character. So like I was already pretty impressed that it's like, hey, we're in Sumeru, we're meeting Sumerian characters. Like the dancing event. Well, the only known dancer, the only professional dancer in the entire troupe is Nilo. And what happens when there's a dancing event? Nilo fucking appears, right? We go to Sumeru, deal with shit. We're meeting pretty much every single Sumerian character that the game has. The only one we haven't met is Nahida and Dea so far. And Candace. Nahida, Dea, and Candace. Technically, Candace is in the city of Aru, so not seeing her would be somewhat normal. Dea and her mistress do live in the main city, so seeing them would be kind of normal. Not seeing Nahida would also be kind of normal, too, because she is the Archon. So Nahida and Candace not appearing would at least has a reason behind it. But I would not be surprised if we see Dea. The fact that these appear is interesting. Oh yeah, I think possessed by one of the gods, maybe. I forget. It's been a while. I think they did mention it during one of the events where Kaveh was a big factor, and we learned a little bit more about his history. But I forget about it because it's been like again, Sumeru was 3 years ago, so that's why I'm just so impressed when it's like when they have a moment. You know, that they still do quests and events in older areas and still involve all the old characters. This is how you make an immersive world. And that's why like, every time I see this, it just reminds me of the stark contrast between it and other games. Yeah. So, and then I go on a rant, and it's like, oh, I shouldn't, right? Well, the things I should accept the game for what it is, and I do, and that's why I don't play it anymore. It would. It's not. And it's not that I didn't like it. It would have been nice if it was just better, but it's not. So, and the unfortunate thing is just like I thought 2.0 would be different. Came back. Nope. More of the same. And like, because I was like, oh, well, maybe the story will get better. Maybe they'll be better writers. It's like, no, they're still making the same mistakes throughout the 1.x patches and through the 2.x patches. It's like, well, fuck this then. You know, I'm not gonna bother.
何か確かに砂漠は過酷な場所だからな。ああ、ただ僕も砂漠。
カーベ先輩に
ああ、それ
最近
なんだよ。
これが俺の普通の生活だ。
腹が立ってきた。おっと、こいつに邪魔されたせいで
砂漠のトラブルも
なんだ聞いてたのか。なんでまた黙るんだ。おい、聞こえてるだろ。
続けてくれ。俺も話。
ほら、やっぱり暇だ。その調査隊って
カーベ先輩も参加したいんですか？
うん。よく考えてみたけど。
Oh yeah, and Kaveh was actually, his name was even brought up in the Nodcry quest too. He was the one who helped make the thing that we use to help fuck over Rosher Rerir. Although it doesn't really make sense for him because he's an architect, so it's like, well, I get you're an architect, but how the fuck were you able to make the intricate like thing that they made? But maybe architect is his main job, and maybe he is also a tinkerer as well. Because I mean, as an architect, you do have to know the tensile strength of materials. So it could be that he also, and usually architects make models of their stuff. Now these days it's digital, but back in those days probably be physical models. So maybe he is pretty good with his hands and is able to assemble things according to blueprints very well, and understand how to construct things generally, not just buildings. Maybe he had to be more of a jack of all trades back in those days. You know, like you couldn't just solely focus on architecture. Maybe you did have to kind of like branch out and take a few variety of jobs related to construction and creation. Now in these days, you know, we've gotten more fine-tuned where it's like, nope, I'm going to do this one job and this is the one thing I'm going to do. I'm going to focus on that. Because we have enough people where we can have a person focus on each. We can have people focus on specific subjects and just be the best at that versus getting a jack of all trades type. Because back in the day, like population was lower, so you have to have more of it. It'd be better to have people who knew a lot of skills so that they could, you know, cover the entire community's needs. Versus if they can only do one thing, then you're going to be missing out on a bunch of other shit. And you just don't have that much of a population in every single city.
それに聞いた感じだと
俺も入っているの。
君のことは分かってる。気になるなんて言った時点で。
まあ。工具箱が先ほどからずっとワクワクしている。もしかすると。
Yeah, I think.
もしかすると。
I think.
故郷を思う気持ちがあるのかもしれない。
Oh yeah, it was a mechanical life. Was it a mechanical life form, or was this an artificial intelligence based off of an old Deshertet noble? Did Deshertet noble digitize themselves or put their soul into this thing?
あ
あ、そういえば
役に立つかもしれない。
二人とも本当に
危険だからこそ人手が必要なんだ。どういたしま。それじゃあ決まりだね。それじゃあ準備してくれ。こいつ長いこと外に。
俺がやらなくても
少しは自分で
俺の仕事は応援だ。
それはどうも。
ではまた会おう。
またな。カーベももう睨むのはやめてやれ。教練医はもうすぐスパイモンのコーヒーのおかげですごく元気にな。お医者さんの指示はきちん。それじゃあ星々の加護を願って。
Yeah, so this is probably going to be the end of the quest, and then Act 1 complete. It's actually surprising. There's only 2 acts in this. Okay, so I've been walking for a while. Yeah. Although, what's wrong one? Yeah, so it's like that's the thing. There's only 2 acts. Usually, for shit like this, there's like it's a 3. They usually do it quest in 3 acts. So I only have today and tomorrow to do this quest, and all the minigames, which I haven't done any of them. The minigames should be relatively quick and easy. And there's also the dance rhythm thing, which I have more time, so I don't have to focus on. Oh, wait, what the fuck? The cap was 4,000 when I looked at it last time. Details. Okay, so that's the max. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little break, go shower, get something to eat. But I'll stay logged into the game, and I will finish the dance thing, which I know is kind of putting the cart before the horse. Why am I doing the thing that has a longer due date than the other? But it's because tomorrow I'm going to be focusing on this. But tomorrow I'll wake up, I'll do the quest first, and then I'll do all the these things. Because usually, I mean, Combat 1... Oh yeah, and I was going to say, the only people that we haven't seen... Oh, I forgot about Farazan. So the only people I haven't seen was Candace, Nahida, Farazan, and Dea. And look, this is Dea, and this is Farazan. So presumably, we're going to interact with those two characters. So like this one event pretty much like brings back literally every single Sumerian character in a way that feels relatively natural. Like, oh, the combat event hosted by Dea makes total sense. A thing that's dealing with like technology by Farazan, yeah, that's like I think that's what her department does. Well, I think her department's more about ancient linguistics, I think, but she has a wide variety of abilities. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and take a break. I'm gonna stay here. Actually, I'll stay. And then I'll do the beat thing, because I can only do the beat thing when I'm not walking, because I can't fucking hear it. So if I'm going to do it, it would be after I've stopped walking, which is now. So I will do that, and then I'll stop, and then I'll pop into Ghost Yote and do more exploration. I'm going to actually get the chain and sickle, the Kusurigama, or I forget, Kusurigami? I forget what it's called again. But yeah, chain and sickle. I'm going to go get that. I'm going to beeline for that first, get that, so that I can do more exploration. Because the reason why I don't want to do exploration first is because I'll be getting skill points, and I want to make sure I have the chain and sickle, so I can put all the skill points I get into that first. And then I can start fleshing out the rest of it. Because like, I have I have the skill points in pretty much all my weapons. Not the katana, I'm missing 2 for that. But like, there's some survival skill. Like, there's a bunch of skills that are just flat out locked still. And that's why I haven't even like bothered putting points into the preceding skills, because I'm like, well, the skill itself is not super interesting. I'm like, I don't really care about that, and the one after it is locked and hidden. So I'm like, I don't even know if that's any good. So I'm not going to get the skill now when I don't need it. So, but there's a ton of skill points available in the new region, in the Teshio Ridge region. So it's like, you know, I want to make sure I get the weapon first, so I can max out my. Because usually there's also like to unlock the skill for the weapon, you usually need to like do other shit. So it's better to get that first to know what objectives need to be accomplished to get the skill for the weapon, as well as just making sure I get all the skill points for it. Because it would suck if I did all my exploration first, then got to the Kusurigami, and I'm like, oh fuck, I have no. Like, I found all the skill points in this region. I put skill points into everything else I had because I had nothing else to put skill points into. Although maybe I could just get it. Like, maybe I don't need to spend the skill points. Maybe I can just go to the altar and then just leave instead of putting a skill point in. And maybe I can stockpile them. But either way, it's why bother, right? You know, why do all that extra effort? Might as well just go straight for the weapon, get the cool new weapon. I'm really curious how it's going to play. And anyways, I will be right back. I just need to shower and microwave something for me to eat real quick, and then I will do the beat mission. I'll wrap up try to do the whole beat event quest. Well, not really event quest, but just do the multiplayer beats and shit.
感情とは頭の中で荒れ狂う波みたいなものだ。それを無理に沈めようとすると、波に飲まれて心の深いところまで落とされてしまう。かといって無視すれば心がバラバラになってしまうんだ。アシュルがなぜカウンターの上にいるかって？接客さ。餌代を稼がないとだろ？感情とは頭の中で荒れ狂う波みたいなものだ。それを無理に沈めようとすると、波に飲まれて心の深いところまで落とされてしまう。かといって無視すれば心がバラバラになってしまうんだ。物事を観察するときは目に頼りすぎちゃいけないよ。人は見たいものだけを見る癖がある。大事なのは自分を過信しないことだ。アシュルがなぜカウンターの上にいるかって？ 接客さ。餌代を稼がないとだろ。感情とは頭の中で荒れ狂う波みたいなものだ。それを無理に沈めようとすると波に飲まれて心の深いところまで落とされてしまう。かといって無視すれば心がバラバラになってしまうんだ。物事を観察するときは目に頼りすぎちゃいけないよ。人は見たいものだけを見る癖がある。大事なのは自分を過信しないことだ。感情とは頭の中で荒れ狂う波みたいなものだ。それを無理に沈めようとすると波に飲まれて心の深いところまで落とされてしまう。かといって無視すれば心がバラバラになってしまうんだ。物事を観察するときは目に頼りすぎちゃいけないよ。人は見たいものだけを見る癖がある。大事なのは自分を過信しないことだ。 感情とは頭の中で荒れ狂う波みたいなものだ。それを無理に沈めようとすると波に飲まれて心の深いところまで落とされてしまう。かといって無視すれば心がバラバラになってしまうんだ。アシュルがなぜカウンターの上にいるかって？接客さ。餌代を稼がないとだろ？物事を観察するときは目に頼りすぎちゃいけないよ。人は見たいものだけを見る癖がある。大事なのは自分を過信しないことだ。アシュルがなぜカウンターの上にいるかって？接客さ。餌代を稼がないとだろ？ 感情とは頭の中で荒れ狂う波みたいなものだ。それを無理に沈めようとすると、波に飲まれて心の深いところまで落とされてしまう。かといって無視すれば心がバラバラになってしまうんだ。物事を観察するときは目に頼りすぎちゃいけないよ。
Okay, let's do it.
人は見たいものだけを見る癖が。
Okay, so I only ever did the tutorial, so I'm curious what the actual like this is and like how it oh, I see. So our player so we don't get to pick our things. It's determined by the song probably. Okay, so I basically need to do about 6 of these, I guess. I mean, now that I know what's involved, it might be a little better, but we'll see. And like if I get first, I might get more points, so it might be 5, perhaps. We'll see. But even still, doing 6, not crazy, not hard, not super hard to do. It's relatively fast too, because each song was like you could say maybe it's like 3 minutes a thing total for like loading in, navigating the menus, all this bullshit, and then actually doing the song. Wait, is this the exact same one I got before, or is this just happened to be another one that's what this was? No, it's the same one. Oh, by 1.10. God damn it. I didn't miss anything, so let's see if I get more. How many points do I get? Not that much more. Okay. So I might. Okay, that's the thing. If I mean, I guess so. If I get 1,200 every single time, then I would only need 5. Okay, so I do get different ones. So I just got really. I don't know. The beats were different though. So, but okay. So let's see how many I get for getting first place this time. First. Wait, no, wait, that wasn't me. Oh fuck. Oh, I thought I was the 3,600. Shit. Second still. Fuck. Okay. Well, I mean, the fact that I think I got 1,100 something. So yeah, and I would have gotten a little more points if I didn't fuck up a beat. The pacing of the fever time was a little faster than I was used to. So basically, because I fucked that up a few times, I didn't win. Yeah, they start pretty good. Yeah, I did the story a little while ago. Yeah, I really liked it. I think that my only complaint was just the fact that the cutscene was so long. But yeah, I really like this whole story. Beating Rayrear, learning a little bit more about Conrio is pretty cool. Sure, what's up? Wait, how did I get 1200 this time? What's the number of beats? Llama or Nefer? Um, if we're talking about like play style, because I have Nefer, I assume you mean this one. I'd say Llama is easier and is definitely like Nefer is really hot, so obviously, so she's obviously cool. But realistically, I think Llama is. Oh, if it's if I had to pick between the two of them. Oh, you mean like actually bad? Oh, wife. Okay. Um, if I had to pick between the two of them, it'd be Llama. Like, because she has huge tracts of land, but I also like long hair. I like the elf ears. Um, I like her personality. Yeah. I mean, not really, because like I would say Llama. So I would say Nefer reminds me more of Jane. I mean, Nefer and Jane have very similar combat styles too, and I mean Evelyn as well. I would say Nefer is more like Jane and Evelyn, and Llama is more. I mean Astra. I think Llama and Astra are very similar. Astriel. Her curves aren't that good. Like Llama obviously beats her. But yeah, personality-wise, I would say Llama is very much like Astra, except maybe a little more reserved. We have to combine. If there was, let's see, who's a comparable? I would say Llama is more like Yanagi. I think Llama and Yanagi have a similar archetype. I mean, it's definitely understandable. You know, she is the. You know, she is a super badass and stuff, and then like just her fight style is very like sensual. Like look at her go. And then like when you do her burst and stuff. I don't have any So yeah, her fighting style is very hot. I'd say Llama's is fairly basic. So she like basically everything about her is just her appearance. It's like, and it's, you know, it's a very good appearance, and her personality is very nice too. But Nefer, like, it's not just her personality. Like, it's her personality, it's her and her combat style, which makes her very goonable. And she's pretty hot too. So I do like her. I mean, I never really liked Mavica. Like, generally, I just don't like the I don't like the color palette of Mavica. Like, I'm not really a huge fan of. I'm not really a huge fan of like red and orange, and like the biker suit, while like, you know, hot and all that. It's just like I just don't like it. Like, honestly, I prefer Chaska's outfit more. Yeah. There was that, and I was actually super surprised Wuthering Waves made her Electro. And I'm just like, what? Electro, really? You have this completely orange-haired girl who is Electro? Are you fucking stupid? Like, it's like they. Oh yeah, Chaska's. I like Chaska too. Chaska's pretty hot. I like the whole cowboy aesthetic to her. She reveals a lot, and it looks like more sense. Like I just don't like the biker aspect of this. It's just like, eh. And like obviously it makes sense she has the biker aspect because she has a fucking bike. So like it makes sense, but it's just not my favorite. Like I think Shilinen is super hot. Vaulting up the coat thing. So I like these. It's tough. There's a lot of really hot characters. I think Chaska's super hot. I think Shilinen is super hot. Raiden, I don't think is super hot. I think she's very pretty, but I wouldn't really say she's like super hot. Although I really do like the long hair. I'm on console. Oh fuck, I'm fucking on shit. I forgot I have I was expecting to go out of it. I had Flaw just in here. Like I do like Raiden. Like Raiden is one of my favorite characters because she is the only one I've leveled to 100. I really like the long hair. Nah, I prefer playing everything on console. The only games I play on PC are the ones that you can only play on PC, which aren't much. See, I just don't like having to deal with that shit. I mean, she's still very attractive, and then she has her thing. It's like, yeah, you can upgrade your PC, but it's just like, yeah, you can just upgrade your console too. When the new console comes out, you can just like PS5 comes out. Oh, okay. Well, then you can buy the PS5 Pro to upgrade to upgrade it, right? I like the thigh high stockings. She also has a little feet. And then with PC, it's always more of a hassle, like because like you have to know the parts well enough, and especially if you're installing stuff yourself, you have to know how to do it well. You have to make sure the parts are compatible, and then the fact is that PC versions of a lot of games are often like the worst performing ones of everything. So it's like with consoles, you get a consistent experience. Sure, you can't min max it as much as you can PC, but like it's so much more hassle to deal with all that bullshit and more expensive than just buying a console and not having to worry about any of that shit. I mean, I didn't really like Trigger. I mean, I have a gaming PC. I did buy like a $2,000 PC, so it's not. I mean, it's pre-built. I'm not that sweaty about it, but so I could play games. I just don't like it because like we're talking about like okay, I could play on PC with my 32-inch screen, or I could play on my console and play on a 55-inch screen. Which one should I play? The one that's easily like twice as big, and that I can go relax on my couch and play, or PC. And like the only reason I would play a game on PC is if like there is no controller support, or if it's not a game like well suited for it. So like I play CRPGs on my PC, and point and click adventure games. I play those on PC too, because like having the mouse for a point and click adventure game is just it's really like that's the kind of the tough thing is that any sort of fine movements like that you need like a mouse for is like shit. If you need something that precise, then it's better to just be on PC. So like that's why CRPGs are better when you have the I mean on weekends I'm pretty much always streaming at this time. I always stream in the afternoon. So basically what I do is I wake up, I Oh, well, yeah, no, streaming on console is insanely easy. So basically, if you press the share button, it opens up the screenshot menu where it's like, oh, you want to take a screenshot, you want to start a new recording, you want to save recent gameplay. Okay, that's all well and good. Well, there's also, if you just scroll over, there's a broadcast button, and so my PS5 is linked to Twitch. So I press the broadcast button, I give it a title, press go, and I'm instantly live usually within the category of the game. For some reason, Borderlands 4 has a problem, and every time I try streaming in Borderlands 4, it considers it games and demos and not Borderlands 4. I have no clue why. It's like the only game that consistently has this problem. But yeah, like starting streaming is insanely easy. It's just clicking two buttons and giving yourself a title. So it's click a button, give yourself three buttons. Click two buttons, give yourself a title, click another button, you're live. So super fucking fast, super fucking easy. Streaming on PC is so much more of a pain in the ass. Also, like your text and dialogue and shit pops up in the bottom corner of my screen automatically. Now, the sucky thing is that text dialogue doesn't appear in VODs and shit like that, so I'll seem like a crazy person on YouTube for people who are listening to this. They're like, who the fuck are you talking to? Because they don't see that. But either way, it's super convenient, whereas if I stream on PC, I have to have OBS up, and not only do I have to have OBS up, but I also have to make sure that my text chat appears in OBS's screen so that I can see it from there, or I would have to keep my stream open. So I'd have to have my game open, I'd have to have my stream open so I can see chat, and also, like, when I'm playing games like this, I'm like watching YouTube videos and shit like that, and I'm watching YouTube videos on my PC. So if I'm playing a game, I have to have my game open, I have to have my YouTube videos open, and I have to have either OBS up or my stream up so that I can see chat, otherwise I miss it completely. And even then, I still probably miss it because I'm focused on the game. And the text is not appearing in the game, like, whereas in this, no, you say something in chat, it appears in my game. It pops up on the screen that I'm focusing on. Whereas, like, if I stream on PC, I have to constantly pay attention to another screen, another window, just to see if I missed a chat or something, which is like... So I'm far more likely to mess up chat. And also, I don't have a microphone at all. So, like, I'm just talking into my controller right now. And on PC, I don't have a microphone. So I can't voice chat. I'd have to plug my controller into my thing and then, like, manage the mute settings so I'm muted when I'm not speaking, which is, kind of a pain in the butt. So, yeah. Generally, it's so much more convenient for me to stream on console. And because it's more convenient to do so, and then I just like playing games on console anyway. So, seems like a no-brainer. But yeah, like, I play Rogue Trader too. Like, I need to get back into Rogue Trader. And recently I played Foolish Mortals, which is a game I helped back on Kickstarter, which is a point-and-click adventure game. So it's like, yeah, you play that on fucking PC. It's just more inconvenient to try to do any sort of movement with a controller for a game like that. Because, like, using your joysticks to move a cursor is just far less precise. So those are pretty much the only ones I do. And Rogue Trader is, I think, only available on PC. But even if it was available on console, like Baldur's Gate 3, I would still play that on PC simply because the movement and navigating movement and menus is just a little more convenient when you can just point and click and stuff. Whereas, and for those games, they can make it work on console, but it's just a better experience on PC. But even still, like, if games like that, and those are the kind of games you don't really need like an amazing, like, super good PC to even do. And I just don't like mouse and keyboard too. I don't like mouse and keyboard controls. I hate WASD movement. Fucking hate it. So it's just, sure, I could get used to it. It won't make me like it anymore, though. Yeah, I really like the story that Genshin's had so far. But also, like, the fact that, like, we had this Sumeru event for the Rune exploration. and they like brought in all the Sumeru characters, which is like so cool. Oops. Okay. Sorry, I missed what you were saying. I had to pay attention. So something about time zones. I'm not like what stuff in time zones. Cool. So I think that's it. That's all I need to do. Okay, so I think that's everything, right? Oh yeah, yeah, she moved. Ah, I see. I'm Pacific time zone, so it's only a little before 2. There we go. All this shit. Yeah, I should have focused on these events, but yeah. I mean, I've had people from overseas watch my stream as well, just because like sometimes during the week I sometimes stream earlier. Like I kind of just basically stream when I wake up. So it's like I wake up and then I hop on my treadmill and I do my dailies and shit. So if I wake up super early or like relatively early, like at 8 or 9 or something like that, then yeah, I get people from overseas and shit. Yeah, yeah. I don't have a lot of consistent watchers. It's just kind of whenever, because my stream is all over the place. So I stream kind of whenever I feel like. Usually during my lunch break, after work. Sometimes I don't feel like doing it after work, and then just the games I play are so varied. So some people might be like, "Oh, I like MiHoYo games. I like Zenless. I like Genshin." But like, basically right after I finish doing this, I'm gonna play Ghost of Yotei, which is like not everyone cares about that game. So yeah, generally you want to be a variety streamer once you like have a following. If you want to stay like keep your following, because like people are there for you. Um, and like so like and like even like and then like earlier I was playing Zenless. I was doing Zenless. I mean, it's a single player game. All games like that lose the views. So it's popular when the game comes out, then the next game comes out. It's just like you're not. It's like Ghost of Tsushima. Like it's not gonna have a shit. Like, also by Sucker Punch, it's not gonna have a shitload of views now either. People play the game when it comes out. I think it's doing pretty well. Like it's Yeah. But yeah, I think this is doing well enough. I think it just had a rough start. Now they kind of like figured out how to tell the story well. It was the in television shit that was just really. Yeah, because I don't really care. I'm just streaming. Like I'm not really streaming to like grow at all or like do anything. So I'm just like I play whatever I play. So I just you know yeah, the start was rough. It was like because all that in television shit just like ruined the pacing of the story. Because you're like, oh, okay, we're gonna tell the story, we're gonna tell the story, and now it's like, oh, now you're stuck in the television, and now everything just slows to a crawl. Yeah, I have Yadari. Her playstyle is a little weird, but I think I've gotten it. But yeah, it's the charging thing is kind of annoying, especially in like burst windows. I'm just not sure how burst windows work out. But I mean, it just ruined the pacing. Like it's not even like personal preference. Like, and also I think this like the prologue was fine, but then just like chapter 1 and 2, just the story wasn't that interesting, and the television really dragged on. Let's see. Yeah, I don't really engage much with the actual community. I think I only pay attention to the leak community, just so I know what's coming up. Okay, so I think that will be it. I have my food arriving very, very shortly, so I'm going to log out, get something to eat, and then I will be logging in probably in like 10-20 minutes and start playing Ghost of Yotei and explore more of the Teshio Ridge, and I'm going to get the chain and sickle weapon, so that'll be fun. That was nice chatting with you, and thank everyone for watching, and I will see you all next time.